Conduct competency assessment simulation. Establish the context and purpose of the assessment. The assessor must familiarize herself with the qualification and units of competency to be assessed. She must also ensure that the assessment venue complies with the occupational health and safety requirements. The competency assessment begins with the assessor preparing the assessment venue and ensuring that all tools, materials, equipment, and assessment documents are available and in good working condition. The assessor also checks that the assessment area complies with occupational health and safety requirements.
Good day, everyone. May I request everyone to stand for a short prayer? In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, my name is Trisha Sioboy, and I am an accredited competency officer for the beauty care, skincare services. As proof of my accreditation, I have here my ID, which confirms my identity as a competent assessor for this qualification. So, I have received the assessment package, which consists of the assessor's guide, the competency assessor's script, the candidate's guide, and the rating sheets. And first, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Ms. Diana Gayola, our TESDA representative, Ms. Chami Aklao, our processing officer, and Ms. Gwyneth Herman, our AC manager. So before we start, kindly submit your admission slip and ID and please sign the attendance sheet once I call your name. Ms. Sandra E. Brokil, Ms. Grisel Duran, so I have your completed application form and self-assessment guide. This shows that you have the knowledge and skills needed to perform all the competencies included in this qualification. So I would like to welcome you all to our assessment center, Southern Lake State University, Sugod Campus. The purpose of this assessment is to determine your level of competency. You may know how to perform a specific task, but only at a basic level. I cannot consider you competent if you are not able to perform the task according to the required standard. So today I am going to administering the competency assessment for beauty care, skincare services institute. This qualification includes basic, common, and core competencies. So as for the core competencies, you are expected to demonstrate the following units of competencies. The first one is to perform facial cleansing, perform temporary hair removal, and perform body scrub. So for beauty care, skincare services institute, you are expected to perform the task, prepare clients, prepare workstation, perform hair removal procedures, perform post-services to clients, and perform post-services activities to workstation. For your personal needs, the comfort rooms are located in both the ground floor and the second floor of the Southern Lake State University Student Campus building. If you would like to eat your lunch, the canteen is located in the ground floor of the Southern Lake State University Student Campus cafeteria. If you brought your own lunch, you may also eat here in the assessment area. If there is any part of the instructions that you do not clearly understand, please feel free to ask me for assistance so I can explain it more clearly. I can also translate the instructions into your own or local dialect if needed. So as for the do's and don'ts for this assessment, once the assessment has started, you are not allowed to leave the assessment area unless you have a valid reason and permission from me as the assessor. In addition, once the assessment is already ongoing, questions will no longer be entertained since sufficient time has already been given earlier for clarifications and inquiries. As for for the rights and appeal system, in case you are not satisfied with the result of the assessment, you have the right to file an appeal. The appeal must be written formally and submitted to the TESDA provincial office where the assessor and the assessment center are officially accredited. So for the issuance of national certificate, for the issuance of the national certificate or certificate of competency, you will be notified through your active Gmail accounts once the certificate is available. Please note that only candidates who are found competent in the qualification they have assessed will receive this notification. After receiving the certificate, bring it to the TESDA provincial office for sealing and authentication. You should also bring a copy of the certificate together with a competency assessment results summary. So for reassessment procedure, if you are found to be not yet competent, do not worry. You can be reassessed anytime for your convenience. In case the assessment is full qualification, you will undergo the whole assessment process. However, if you are found competent in some unit of competency, you will undergo. If you fail 2 consecutive assessments, you will be taking refresher courses. So for the occupational health and safety requirements, please observe proper handling of tools, identify hazard and risk, evaluate hazards and risk, control hazards and risk, and maintain occupational health and safety awareness. So the confidentiality of assessment outcome, we observe strict confidentiality in the report and results of the assessment. The result will only be handed to the concerned personnel and to the institution where you conducted your assessment. The assessment package will be placed in a sealed and secured area. Do not share any clue or information regarding the assessment to everyone. If you have no questions, I will now introduce to the specific instruction for the candidate. So candidate number 1, which is Ms. Brockdale, will be the first to enter the assessment room, and as for Ms. Duran, the candidate number 2 will have to wait at the waiting area.
Conduct the assessment. So after the orientation, candidate number 1 is called into the assessment
So
area.
now I have here the instructions that you need to follow in doing this assessment. Please read this so that you can use this as a guide while doing the assessment process. So using the materials, tools, and equipment, you are required to perform all the tasks in this qualification within 9 hours. I will be observing you while you are performing the task. After your demonstration, I will ask you some questions related to your assessment. After the oral questioning, I will give you feedback about your performance. Always observe safety precautions all the time. So any questions and clarifications? Okay, if there are no more questions, you may now start.
The candidate is instructed to perform the assigned duty care service following the standard procedures and occupational health and safety requirements. During the practical demonstration, the assessor carefully observes the candidate's performance and records evidence using the prescribed rating sheets. The assessor evaluates the candidate's preparation of materials, sanitation practices, use of tools and equipment, communication skills, and quality of work output.
Now, I have here the instructions that you need to follow in doing this assessment. So please read this so that you can use this as a guide while doing the assessment process. So using the materials, tools, and equipment, you are required to perform all the tasks in the qualification within 9 hours. I will be observing you while you are performing the task. So after your demonstration, I will ask you some questions related to your assessment after the oral questioning. I will give you feedback about the performance. So always observe safety precautions all the time. Any questions or clarifications? If there are no more questions, you may now stop.
After the practical demonstration, the assessor proceeds with oral questioning to assess the candidate's underpinning knowledge. The assessor asks questions related to skincare procedures, workplace safety practices, proper handling of tools and equipment, and client consultation techniques. The candidate's responses are evaluated based on the competency standards. Following the oral questioning, the candidate completes the written examination. The assessor administers and monitors the test to ensure fairness and integrity throughout the assessment process. The same assessment procedures are repeated for the remaining candidates.
First of all, congratulations for successfully finishing the competency assessment, Ms. Alcaran. May I ask, how do you feel about the assessment? Okay, now I will provide you with my feedback. So, based on my observation and evaluation during the assessment, I can see that you came well prepared and demonstrated confidence in performing the required tasks. You were able to effectively carry out perform before a hair removal in accordance with the prescribed procedures and standard requirements. I also observed that you consistently apply proper hygiene, sanitation, and safety practices throughout the activity. Your techniques were appropriate and the outcome of your work met the expected quality standards, so this indicates that you are competent in this qualification. So, congratulations, Mr. Ran. So here's the copy of your rating sheet and your cards, and please sign it. So you can get your national certificate from the assessment center and accomplishing a letter of authorization. Submit a photocopy of your valid ID with specimen signature and pay the certificate fee of 50 pesos. Good day, Ms. Brazil. So congratulations for finishing the assessment. How did you feel about the competency assessment? Okay, here is my feedback about your assessment. I can see that you were able to perform the tasks such as perform temporary hair removal. However, I noticed that you were not confident when performing the procedures, and there were some errors in the correct steps, especially in hygiene, sanitation, and proper handling of tools and equipment. I am sorry to tell you that you were not able to perform within the standard performance of the qualification. You have to review or practice the activities related to the competency requirements of the qualification further. You can only come back for your assessment when you feel confident enough that you have acquired the competence in this qualification. Don't worry, you will be reassessed on the parts of the activity that you were found not yet competent. So here is the copy of your rating sheet and the social card, so please sign it. Once again, congratulations and thank you, Ms. Martin.
All assessment documents, including the rating sheets, written test results, oral questioning records, attendance sheet, and competency assessment result summary, are carefully reviewed for completeness and accuracy. The completed assessment documents are then submitted to the Assessment Center Manager. The Assessment Center Manager reviews the documents to ensure that all assessment procedures have been properly followed and that all required forms have been accomplished. After verification, the documents are forwarded to the processing officer. The processing officer prepares and updates the registry of workers assessed and certified, organizes the assessment records, and ensures that all documents are complete for submission. Once the record have been processed, the Assessment Center Manager and the assessor affix their signatures on the required documents for validation. The documents are then endorsed to the TESDA representative or designated TESDA Provincial Office personnel. They are responsible for receiving, validating, and processing the assessment records for certification purposes.